All right. Good morning, everybody. This is Saturday morning. Go ahead and type your name in the chat box. For those of you listening in, my name is Brandon Ivey from Los Angeles, California. It is a gloomy, cold, earthquake weather looking day today. So we're still going to be here. Thank you guys for being here. As a disclaimer, I'm not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I share information for educational, training, and entertainment purposes only. This is our Saturday morning ILCA presentation slash crypto talk. So that we will also be doing at the end of the presentation, we will be doing a live crypto talk to show you guys that are not a part of our ILCA community what it is like to be in our inner circle. So I'm going to pull you guys up on YouTube because we are also streaming on YouTube right now. This is public. So welcome. I hope you guys have had a good last 2 days since last I was with you, which was on Thursday. We had a Thursday morning Inner Circle Crypto Talk, followed by no, we did not do the 5 day challenge Thursday night. I had a signing ceremony for my son going to college. We expected to have our day 5 of our 5 day challenge last night, but yesterday we had a tumultuous day in the Ivy household, starting at around 8:45, 9 o'clock in the morning. Our internet completely died in the entire house. And I say it all the time, if you ever want to know if how dependent we are on Wi-Fi internet access, just turn your Wi-Fi off for 5 minutes and watch what your kids do. Well, we went without it from 8:30, 8:45, and it wasn't restored until 6:30 p.m. last night. I spent literally almost the entire day trying to get this thing sorted out with the customer support online, going down to the office, replacing our equipment, and it got a technician that finally came out at 6 o'clock last night for the technician to say, "Oh, your equipment is fine. They just forgot to um, not connect it to my account, but activate it." I mean, you mean to tell me for 4 hours y'all couldn't figure out that you didn't? All you had to do was hit one button, and that's all they had to do, one button. But they had to have a tech come out to figure that out. In the meantime, I don't like being down. My wife was acting like she was never born in the 70s before, didn't know what internet was like before. So I had to get this thing solved. So I went and also ordered secondary internet service. So now in my household, I've got two. So this will never happen again. If one goes down, I got a backup. And what's interesting though is we still had our cell phones. And I actually have hotspot on my cell phone, which means I can still connect my laptops to the internet. My wife still has a cell phone and she still has access to the internet, but we were acting like we were in the dark ages. So that just was another reminder on how much this technology is so important in our lives, and that those of you that was in the 5 day challenge this past week, on Monday we talked about blockchain technology, where blockchain technology is greater than the internet. It is more important than the internet. It is going to have a bigger impact on the world than the internet, and it is something that nobody can avoid. Nobody's going to be able to run from. For saying all that, let me recognize those of you guys that are also here. I see we've got Al. Welcome, Al, Angela Ingram, CJ Jackson. Angela got her camera on. Good morning, Angela. Christina, DJ, Don, Dorothy Mays, JJ Brazil, Joyce Easley, Catherine Clement, Maggie, Nathan, Patty Geis, Rita B, and Stan T. So a couple of updates since we did not do day 5 of the 5 day challenge last night, which was I was looking forward to that because we're talking about wallet security. And in Inner Circle Crypto Talk on Thursday, we had an article pop up that said the month of April was one of the largest months ever recorded outside of exchanges being hacked, of criminal activity, of people losing their crypto being stolen. One elderly couple lost 300 something million dollars to a social engineering hack. And I wanted to really go over that in the 5 day challenge. So instead, on Monday night, normally I do a Monday night recap call. We're going to do it the same day 5. We're going to go over wallet and security. So you don't want to miss that. And I'm going to make it open for everybody. I'm going to keep the Q&A open because of the technical difficulty that I had yesterday. So you don't want to miss that Monday, and you want to let everybody know. I will be streaming it on YouTube so everybody can be a part of. And I'll think about that. Maybe I might even do Facebook because I can put it in more channels on Facebook. But I just want everybody to have this information for free because it's going to save you. The worst feeling is that you lose $20,000, $100,000, your life savings after years of working and saving up and building your portfolio and you lose it in a matter of an instant due to something that was avoidable. And that's what we're going to be about on Monday. So let's jump on into today. The ILCA. What is ILCA? Well, I launched ILCA in January of 2022 to create a community, not just, I've had crypto education courses since 2018. A lot of businesses, companies, and even universities have been using my crypto education courses. But I wanted to build a community because a lot of the institutions outside of the universities that was using my courses, they had one goal. Their primary goal was to make money. Secondary was education. And they really didn't care if you actually educated yourself. It was more of a cover so that they can say, hey, at least we have education. It's up to the people to decide to use it or not. But I wanted to be able to create a community where we all can learn together, where it's a safe space, where it's an environment for growth that I actually can control and I can grow on and add to. So we created ILCA, and it's official is ILCA LLC out of Wyoming, and it stood for my name, Ivy, and then League Crypto Academy. Since then, this has evolved. It's gotten bigger. The parent company is actually Ivy League Coaching Academy. In 2026, I will be unveiling an entire new division that's going to go back to who I was before I was crypto with personal development mindset, where I'm going to be teaching the things that I learned that will allow me to walk off my job at the age of 36 years old and retire. My dad still has a hard time wrapping his mind around that, and earn seven figures, and how to brand yourself, the most difficult thing that people don't understand is people say how, when really it is a mental shift in your thinking and the way you view things and the way you look at things and the way you're setting your goals. And that was it took me 10 years to really figure that out and understand. I heard it before I read about it, but I didn't fully get it. And once I did, everything opened up. Things started to become easy. Have you ever met people who it always seems like good luck is on their side? They're always successful at anything that they do, and you're like, what's the magic sauce? It's not coincidence. It really begins here, and most people don't know how. So I'm going to be get back into teaching personal development, self-improvement as another complete division. I'm going to launch with 3 courses like I launched ILCA at the beginning on my coaching side. So that's going to be part of our ILCA division. But in 2022, we launched ILCA, and took the 3 courses that I had, Bitcoin 101, Crypto Advanced, and How to Trade Bitcoin and Crypto. All of our education is done by streaming video. So you can stop, pause, rewind, come back to it whenever you want to, go through it at your own pace. And for those who say, well, Brandon, what's the difference between you and YouTube videos? Well, YouTube videos, I spent 6 months teaching myself about crypto education. And I use YouTube and Google. And I found out that 50% of the videos that I was watching and trying to learn from was incorrect. And the other 50% was outdated. So the difference between those and me is mine are current, mine are up to date, and you get me live, which is a part of the community. It's not just the videos, but in our community, we meet almost every day. I was thinking about it the other day that I work harder now than I did on a job, but I have multiple, I think I'm live at least 3 times a day outside of Friday and Sunday, and sometimes Saturday. So you're getting me every single day, and we're staying on top of this through our Inner Circle Crypto Talks. We also have Diamond Class trainings twice a week, where I take the lessons that we have in our portfolio and I teach them live, and then it gives you guys an opportunity to ask questions. We do something called a 5-day challenge once a month. And what we do there is like my Bitcoin boot camps, where for 1 hour a night at no cost, we're allowing people to come and learn about the basics of what crypto is. What is blockchain technology? How do cryptocurrencies work? What are wallets and security? And how do I move things around? How do I make money in Bitcoin and crypto? How do I dollar cost average? How do I build my portfolio? How do I protect myself? What is the future even looking like? People may hear the term Bitcoin and crypto and not have a full understanding on why it's so important. Maybe now, because we have a president who wants to claim himself to be the first Bitcoin president, is making the crypto industry a whole lot easier to be involved in outside of the previous 4 years with Joe Biden, where it was attacking everything in the crypto industry. Things have lessened now, and he's actually signing bills and laws in place that is going to help grow this industry. And he even signed a mandate that if you don't know this, by September of this year, all federal agencies have to conduct all business dealing with any type of financial transaction, whether it's through contracts, pensions, salary, any deals, has to be done digitally. And every big major corporation is positioning themselves for that, both public and private. But that's in the federal space, which means if you work for the federal government, expect that you're going to be getting paid in a digital currency. What we don't know yet is exactly which one. And it's not going to be Bitcoin. All right. The only cryptocurrency that is up that it could be a Ripple, but I doubt that's going to happen. It's going to be a stable coin. So we'd have to figure out which stable coin are they going to be using. But you got to know how, if I'm getting paid in a stable coin, how do I sell it? How do I store it? How do I move it around? Who's going to hold it for me? How does this stuff work? So you're not going to have a choice. So getting involved now, at least you'll be prepared for when that inevitability comes. And once it happens on the federal side, all the private companies are going to follow suit because they all want to do business with the government. They all want those government contracts. And so it's going to be standard by the end of this year. A great for I can't get an exact percentage. I would say more than 50% of the American population will have a crypto wallet somewhere. More than 50%. And I might be lowballing that by the end of this year. So things are going to start to happen rapidly. In 2017, what put me on this course, it was in May, I learned two things that changed my life. One, blockchain technology is going to disrupt every single industry on the planet today. And two, that cryptocurrencies represent the greatest economic shift in wealth in the history of mankind for the most amount of people. So getting started with our community begins with our 5-day challenge. One, you want to get back with the person who invited you. Oh, wait a second. Not computer audio. Portion of the screen. Get back with the person who invited you. They will have a link to give you. We have my home website, which is ivyleaguecryptoacademy.com if you want to learn everything about us and what we offer here, from all of our courses, crypto courses that you can purchase, to even from Bitcoin 101 all the way to artificial in oh wait, more than that. Oh yeah, Marty. Oh, I'm gonna jump on Marnita. Hey Joyce, you can let Marnita know I'm calling her out because I know she's not here today. But we got three more courses on here as well that we just launched this year. Decentralization, um, uh, uh, CBDCs, and security, most important ones. And then we have our membership sections that gives you more detailed and intimate sessions with us with our inner circle membership, our diamond membership, and our platinum membership. We also have an affiliate program in place. So if you know people who need crypto education and you want to reach out to them, if they decide to purchase anything, whether it's the courses or our memberships, you will receive commissions for that. If you're in the inner circle, I'm paying out 5%, diamond 10%, platinum 20%. if you want to be a part of any of that. We have another site as well called Ivy League, no, ILCA.app. It's a kind of easier way to get access to everything, our gold, diamond, platinum membership. And then if you all of our courses for $24.99, or you can get them in bundles for $750 in different 4 different bundle packages here. Then we also have another feature, which is called our partnership program. Our partnership program is designed for individuals who are thinking like an entrepreneur. And that was me for years. I just did not know how to set myself up. I didn't know how to create a website. I didn't know how to do marketing. I didn't know how to have a back office that can have a calendar, that can have email campaigns, that can have text messaging or a calendar creator. I didn't have any of that kind of stuff. I didn't know how. And then when I looked around to pay for someone to do it, I didn't have the money to do that. See, people, when I created ILCA, I spent more money creating this than most people make a year on their job. So if you're not willing to spend the money or if you don't have the resources, you're not able to really create your own business. And I'm a firm believer of building your own brand. So for the people out there who say, Brandon, look, I have my own brand, I have my own community, I know they need crypto education, but I don't necessarily want to promote you. And that's understandable. I understand that. And if you don't want to, oh, Marnita is here, huh? As you heard me. So if you don't want to promote me, that's understandable. I have a marketing system and team in place that can create for you your own website, your own brand. And Miss Casa, do me a favor. I had closed out, if you can, I closed out Carla's link because that last one that you created for her was fantastic. If you could shoot that one over to me. But we will create for you your own system where you can brand yourself. I do have this one for as an example, but this isn't the main one.
Mr.
But you,
Ivy,
yes, yes,
I'm so sorry. I'm driving right now, so I can't get that to you. As soon as I stop, I'll shoot it over to you.
perfect. Thank you, thank you. And that's my bad. I had it saved and I did not save it like I should have. But we will create for you your own website, and it can have your picture, your content, and it doesn't say anything about ILCA, Brandon Ivey, any of our brand. It can have your colors branded to you, and you can sell my crypto education courses to your community. Now, the difference is instead of you earning 20%, you'll earn 50%, 50% per sell. So what does that mean? Let me give you an example. Oh, and I forgot. You're also able to sell my courses less than what I'm selling them for. So people will actually be able to get a better deal going to you to get my courses than going directly to me. So let's say, for example, you had 10 people that got the courses for $9.99. You earn $5,000. Hmm. What if you had more? What if you had a thousand people in your community or your church, your organization, anywhere you know? And out of 1,000 people, 100 of them buy the courses. You just made $50,000. Now, the next step is now that you got 50,000, what do you do with that? Do you just go out and spend it? No. See, ILCA wants to teach you once you've earned it, what do you do with it next? See, I learned the hard way the first time I earned 7 figures. I didn't know what to do. I was telling Marnita this. I shared this with her a couple last week sometime. I said, when you first start making money out above and beyond what you're used to, see, if you're working a 9 to 5 job, you have a fixed income, and most people are living paycheck to paycheck, and you're just trying to make it through the end of the month. You're not worried about next month yet. You don't have anything left over. I used to say at the end that back in the day, how many of you have ever been to a point where you ran out of money, but you still have days left in the month? You try to figure it out. Well, what goes through your mind and what do people do the moment that you paid all your bills and you got an extra $1,000? I think, Catherine, more month than money. You have an extra $1,000. What do you do? How does that feel? What if you paid all your bills and then you look at your bank account and there's still an extra $5,000 there? See, I say it this way because the average American doesn't even have an extra $1,000 in their savings account right now and living off of debt and credit cards. Most people spend it. I got extra money. Let me go buy that big flat screen TV. Let me go get that dress that I wanted. Let me try to put down on a new car that I'm gonna have to pay a new monthly bill on. What if you paid all your bills? I mean, I think the my first significant time was I paid all of my bills and I still had an extra $10,000 in the bank. I remember that feeling. I was like, whoa, like for the first time, I felt rich when that happened to me for the very first time. I was like, whoa. See, I grew up in a household that's like the Cosbys. My parents were very successful. My dad made a lot of money, but he was always broke because he was just on a higher level of broke. He spent more money than he made. So even though he got his paycheck, we got to let this $20 stretch out for the whole week. Bills were paid though. We didn't have no money left. And every time he made more money, we were always in the same situation. I never understood that. You making like 10 times what you made 10 years ago. Yeah, we're still broke. So then I learned, I figured, wait a minute. It's not about how much money you make. It's how much money can you keep and then allow that to work for you. That's what school doesn't teach. How would you feel if you paid all your bills and you have an extra $50,000 sitting in the bank? I remember the early days because I've been coaching and teaching my cousin Marnita for a while now, and I used to show her certain things. And her mind wrapped when she sees the money, she's like, I said, yeah, all bills are paid, and that money's just sitting there. What do you do? See, I'm not thinking spend it. I'm thinking, how can I have that work for me? This is a wealth mindset. And again, I'm practicing on you guys because we're going to be talking about all this when I launch the new courses about how to get there, how to think on that level. I don't think paycheck to paycheck. I think month to month, year to year. When I retired from my job, I didn't retire from my job until I had a year's worth of money saved up that I didn't, if I'd rolled out of bed or not, I could still pay every single bill. If you're not there yet, how do you get there? It's not going to happen on your 9 to 5 job. You don't make enough extra money. Well, what if you sell the crypto courses that you didn't have to create? What if you're an individual who sold 500 courses? You just made $250,000. If I was on the other side of this Zoom right now, this is all I will be thinking about right now. How many courses could I sell? And then what to do with that money, like building your crypto portfolio. In fact, we're going to be doing crypto talk right afterwards. And the next 6 months are going to be so important in building your crypto portfolio. The next 6 months. Now, what is the cost of becoming a partner? Because we have to set this up. It'll take us at least 2 weeks to a month to get you set up. If you're not a member of ILCA, our community, it's a one-time setup fee of $2,500 and $199 a month to maintain. By the way, I already have the merchant account. I already have a way to set up to collect the money, and you don't have to worry about all of that. I already got that set up. I already spent all the money and it costs a whole lot more than $2,500. If you are a member of our community, it's just a one-time $1,000 setup and $199 a month. You've got your own business. If you have your own products and things that you'd like to sell, we can put it on there as well. Like for example, when I look at the next website for Carla, she's got other things that she's involved in on that site as well. It's your brand. And some of you say, well, Brandon, I don't need my own brand. I just want to make 50% per sale. I can put you all over it. That's fine. And that's completely fine too. Or you might say, I want to sell it for more than $999 because this is actually cheap. You might say, I want to sell it for 5,000. Fine. You still get 50%. That's 20. Let's say if you did that, you're making $2,500 per sale. You've sold 50 of them. You just made $125,000 on 50 sales. Maggie. Like I said, if I was on the other side of this, I'd have 100 people already lined up, ready to go. You just made six figures right there. So this is what, oh, let me show you the membership side too. We do have a membership side and an app that you'll be able to access all of the courses on through your mobile phone, or you can go on the website. We have our own private chat group channel based on whichever uh, uh, membership you have. All of the courses look like this. Once you purchase your courses, have access to them. Bitcoin 101, Crypto Advanced, how to trade Bitcoin and crypto, Internet of Things, DeFi, NFTs. Let me go to, and our crypto talks. We record everything. So even if you're not able to make it live, you can see, did I put Thursdays up? Let me see here. That was Crypto Talk 2024. April 2025. Wait a minute. I did do May. I did not. I did not publish Thursdays. Yeah, I did upload it, so I'll do that. Thursdays will be there. But you can go back and watch every single crypto talk we've done this year, even if you just got started. You guys, for example, they look like Trump threatened secondary tariffs on Russian oil. Let's go to, since we're going to be doing security in our security bundle here, we're going to be talking about, I think it's wallets. Yeah, we just did, well, we did this one on Thursday. Why crypto security is important. We did that. And here's a 1-minute clip on intro to security. Take a listen to this. Wait, I don't think let me make sure I am sharing the volume. I knew I wasn't. There we go. All right. By far, the most important lesson to learn out of everything ILCA has to offer is our courses on security. The worst feeling in the world is to build your crypto portfolio for years, only to lose all of it in the blink of an eye or the click of your mouse. This course provides a comprehensive guide to safeguarding digital assets in the ever-evolving crypto ecosystem. It covers critical topics such as secure wallet usage, protecting private keys, recognizing and mitigating phishing attacks, and understanding the principles of blockchain security. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced crypto user, this course equips you with the tools and knowledge needed to navigate the crypto world safely and confidently. Yep. Two of the most important lessons right now is this one, protecting against phishing scams and pig butchering scam in crypto. These two is where people are losing most of their money. And it's easily avoidable. Pig butchering scams, especially this one here, but phishing scams, pig butchering scams. But we got crypto jacking and malware protecting your assets, multi-sig wallets for enhanced security. Remember the article we just read about that couple, well, that elderly couple? And one of the suggestions in the article was, well, maybe they should, especially for that amount of money, they should have had a multi-sig wallet in place. But here's what I say. One, they shouldn't have had all that money in one wallet in the first place. And two, I think they probably had that sitting on an exchange somewhere that got hacked. Or if they had it in a decentralized wallet, they gave their private seed phrase to somebody that they thought that they could trust, and they drained their wallet dry. $330 million is gone. That is generational wealth. So their children, grandchildren, great grandchildren, and beyond just got robbed 4 or 5 generations deep from one mistake. You think crypto education is important. It is important. The only mistake I made, at the end of each year, I forecast and I look to the future and see what's going to be the hot topics in the crypto space over the next year. And I pick 3 and I write courses on them. So every year, like last year, we dropped, let me see here. We dropped NFTs. No, I already did that one. We dropped artificial intelligence, Web3, and tokenization. That's where we began 2024 with. And then 2025, I was looking to think the hot, and I saw it was CBDCs, decentralization, because Web3 is all about decentralization and security. I messed up. Instead of it being CBDC, it's actually stable coin. So I got that one wrong. But I do have the CBDC courses. I got the CBDC courses. And here's, just so you know, here's an intro to CBDCs. Take a listen to this. 2025 began the year with the swearing in of a new US president. One of his first executive orders was to ban CBDCs. Do you even know what a CBDC is or how it will impact the future of global finance? A total of 130 countries, representing 98% of the global economy, are now exploring digital versions of their currencies, with almost half in advanced development, pilot, or launch stages. This is definitely a topic we cannot ignore. This course examines central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, the digital evolution of fiat money issued by governments. It covers their design, benefits, and potential risks, along with how they differ from cryptocurrencies and stablecoins. This is ideal for anyone interested in the future of money. This course offers a clear understanding of CBDCs and their potential to reshape global financial systems. Yeah, but that's important because every country in the world except the United States is already in the development of CBDCs publicly. United States is also behind the scenes. The Federal Reserve already made that decision, but this year is all about stable coins. So I am creating a new course on stable coins that I want to have done before August, that I'll be releasing that one once I can put my head down and really get to work. So I was off on that one, but we've got 13 courses with almost 200 videos all at your fingertip, plus our memberships. So that is what ILCA is all about. Now, I want to give you guys now how to be a part of this again. Get back to whoever invited you here, and I want you guys to know, the whole point of me doing these presentations is if you are a inner circle, a VIP member, a gold member, or a diamond member, a platinum member, and a partner, that you can invite people to this presentation. Let me show your people what this is all about, and you get paid. That's the whole point. This is not network marketing. This is not MLM. There are no multiple levels. It is only affiliate side. Now I'm going to give you guys an example of what it is like to be in our inner circle at least 4 days a week. I do a private inner circle crypto talk where we're covering what the market live and daily, and not just the market, but we're also covering the news, geopolitics, because that is what's going to impact the markets. And it's going to allow us to be able to make informed and as much as accurate predictions as possible in our movements. It is priceless. The difference between my inner circle talks and these YouTube, what do you call them? YouTube content creators in the crypto side, the crypto gurus on YouTube. I do not read any of these articles beforehand. I do not do the research beforehand and then come to you guys and say, yeah, this is a move you should make when they've already made the move. They're manipulating the system. I do it live in front of all of you. In fact, this is how I keep up to date and I learn every single day. I'm just turning the camera on and the microphone and taking you on the journey with me. I take notes every day. So I can't tell you or advise you what moves to make, but I can show you the moves that I'm making. And then you can decide for yourself, is that move going to be good for you? And sometimes it's not. Just because I make a move doesn't mean you need to make a move. And we never know what we're going to find. Just last week, well, it was last week, right? We found this one. Remitix. Yeah, we just found that one last week. Now put some money on. Who knows what that may end up doing? We never know. So I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek on what we do. The first thing we do is we look at the traditional markets. What's going on in the stock market right now? So let's see here. And Catherine's right. It pays to be in the inner circle. Well, you feel lost in the mornings without it? Yeah, I appreciate that. All right. So right now, oh, this is actually positive. So last time I looked at this, the Dow was at 40,000. We're now at 41,300. We're up 500 points. S&P 500, 82. NASDAQ 200. Futures is looking like not that much change. So we'll see how this weekend plays out. Europe's looking pretty strong, popping up there. Asia, Asia's popping up slightly. Yeah, slightly there. Okay, let's look at the crypto market. Okay, crypto market. Whoa, crypto market went down. Down 2.9% in the last 24 hours. Now, this is Saturday, so I'll be looking at things from a week to week basis. But the last 24 hours down 2.9. Bitcoin dominance 61.6. Ethereum 7.14. That doesn't look that that's changed much since Thursday. Bitcoin is at 96,400, slightly down in the last 24 hours, almost 1%. You like that, Bill? Crypto talk is like a morning cup of coffee. I feel weird too if I don't do crypto talk in the morning because again, that's how I learn. So I feel weird when I don't do it. I remember my last marketing team said that I'm doing way too much. They're like, man, you only need to do maybe two crypto talks a week. I said, then I'm gonna be behind if I do only two crypto talks a week. He said, well, you can continue doing it for yourself, but only broadcast. So, well, then the community is gonna be behind. I need you guys to be up on this like me because I actually learned from you guys too. You guys bring. I didn't find Remitix. You know who did? Wow, Bill. That was you, right, Wild Bill? You're the one who brought that to us. And I looked at it, said, "Yeah, let me put some money on this one." So, so this is a group effort here. All right. Ethereum slightly down, but it is at 1,800, getting closer to 2,000. Ripple slightly down. BNB, Solana. Let me see any outlier. Cardano went up though, 2%. Sui's down 3.3. Any outlier here? Monero's little hit. Now, here's why inner circle's important. If you're not in the inner circle, you're not plugged in, and you just open up the chart one day and you saw Monero jumped up 20 something percent, you see the spike, you're like, whoa, why'd that happen? Well, if you're in the inner circle, you know why. There was a huge hack, and the hackers used Monero to launder the money, and it spiked Monero's price up. So that type of information will let you know when should I buy, when should I sell. Also, that because of that, Exodus is going to be delisting Monero. I wonder if Coinbase will do the same. I'm not even sure if Coinbase offers Monero. I know they did at one point, but they might delist it as well if they do have it. Any other outlier? No. Algorand's down 4.3. See the best performers. Let's go over the past week. Best performers. Virtual is up 76.1%. Monero, Hype, Quant, Flare, Nexo. Fartcoin keeps popping. We'll see if this keeps popping up on Monday, we're gonna look into this project on Inner Circle Talk on Monday. If I see this again, I'm gonna look into it because it's not going away and it's got over $1 billion market cap. CRV 8.4, EOS, Render, BittenSource, C, Aave, Sonic, Qcoin, Rocket Pool. Okay. Worst performers over the past week. Optimism, Trump's down 16.7 after having a good spike the week before. Ethana's down 16. Celestia, Ondo, Uniswap, WorldCoins dropped even after their announcement. Internet, Computer, Pi Network, Algorand, Cosmos Hub, Pepe, FET, Stacks. Okay. So it's been mostly negative on the most part in the crypto space over the past week. See what MoveQuest is doing. MoveQuest token is still sitting at $13.30. Steady. Next Wednesday, I will be doing another whisper session after Marnita's MoveQuest presentation. Next Thursday, I'm sorry, next Wednesday. I need to hear the new update from Lynette on Tuesday. She gave a whole lot of information this past Tuesday. So I know the pattern on how she operates. So I don't like immediately after she gives an update trying to explain it because she might change her mind on something a week later or less. So I need to hear her say it at least twice. Then I say, okay, that may be the way she's moving here. So we'll listen to the updates on Tuesday night, and I'll do a whisper session on Wednesday, but that's only for our inner circle. But here I don't see, this is pretty standard. I see the smart contract has been doing its thing. That's not the smart contract though, but it has been active. We're still sitting at, oh, this is actually down a little bit. There was a lot of selling going on. 1.4 million liquidity. Okay, it was at 1.6 not too long ago. I know she gave a lot of information about the Binance chain, so I need to hear that again before we talk about that. All right, let's see what's going on in geopolitics. Now, I remember Thursday, I ran out of time. And was it Thursday Crypto Talk? Oh, Wednesday. Well, I know I ran out of time because I think we had a meeting with Manette. And was it this article? No, I'm going to cover that on Monday. Oh yeah, this one. Ledger. Ledger scammers are sending letters to steal seed phrases. Something to watch out for. Scammers, they're now resorting to US mail. We know about how they use fake emails, but they're sending letters. Scammers have mailed letters to Ledger users. Okay, my first question is, how did the scammers find out a Ledger user's home address? So they've mailed letters to Ledger users posing as the company, asking for secret recovery phrases to crypto wallets in an attempt to take control of the device. Okay, the last 5-day challenge I did was on Wednesday night. And Wednesday night, what was the number one thing I said and repeated over and over and over again? Anybody know that? Want to type it in the chat box? So let me tell you what this scammer's doing. Scammers have mailed letters to Ledger users posing as a company, asking for secret recovery phrases to crypto wallets in an attempt to take control of the device. Scammers are mailing physical letters. Judy, the only one who has an answer? Well, that is correct. Never, ever, ever give out your 12-word seed phrase to nobody. Never. And if anybody asks you for it, major red flag. There's a lot of scammers who pretend to be me. They've created audio and sending audio message to people privately that sounds just like me. They've even created fake videos where it looks like me and sounds like me. I will never ask you for your 12-word seed phrase. I will never ask you to display on the screen your 12-word seed phrase. Never. So let me ask, since I've been teaching Marnita this, oh, she might be driving. I have never asked my own cousin to show me her 12-word seed phrase, and I never will. I tell you how to protect your 12-word seed phrase. So if you're ever on with who you think might be customer support on any project, and they ask you, yeah, so we're gonna to help you out to get into your wallet. You need to send us your 12-word seed phrase so we can check it out. But run the other way. They're either a scammer or they are completely inexperienced and don't know what the hell they're doing. Okay. That's the biggest. The second is never connect your wallet to websites you don't know. Even websites I do know, there's a couple of things that I always do. One, I use a utility wallet, and then I always disconnect afterwards. And I never connect a wallet that has most of my crypto in it to any website. That's what you have utility wallets for. So if that wallet gets compromised, there's nothing in it to be stolen in the first place. That's why I'm looking at the elderly couple. Like, what the hell? Okay, so let me read this. Scammers mailing physical letters. Tech commentator Jacob Canfield shared a scam letter sent to his home via post that appeared to be from Ledger, claiming he needed to immediately perform a critical security update on his device. The letter, which uses Ledger's logo, business address, and a reference number to feign legitimacy, asked to scan a QR code. That's another thing. And those of you that's going to be at the Bitcoin 2025 event in Vegas, I'm going to give you another security lesson here. You will see QR codes all over the place. Do not scan that QR code with the phone that you use and you do crypto stuff on. Okay. You can have backup. I got multiple phones. So do not scan. Even if you go to restaurants, and sometimes I've been noticing lately, they don't give out menus anymore. They'll have a QR code on the table or something like that. Make sure that there's something not placed on top of it. Or if you're walking down and you see on a wall a QR code, something like that, do not scan on it. Okay, so anyways, this letter asks to scan a QR code and enter the wallet's private recovery phrase under the guise of validating the device. Yeah, thank you, Melanie. I just gave you guys $1 million tip right there for free. The letter threatens that failure to complete this mandatory validation process may result in restricted access to your wallet and funds. So if you read that and you don't know what to look for, you might think, oh no, Ledger's telling me I need to update this. I don't want to lose my money. So new scam, meta launch. Let's look at this letter here. Wow. With the QR code on it. Ledger security and compliance. No. A seed phrase or recovery phrase is a string of up to 24 words that unlocks access to a crypto wallet. A scammer with the phrase can access and control the associated wallet to transfer its holdings elsewhere. Earlier this month, the X account of a crypto hardware wallet reseller said it had also received multiple reports of Ledger users receiving a similar letter. Can they not catch these scammers through the bulk mail? Well, what they can do is that they're writing on the mail the return address of a business, and then they just go to any public drop box and just drop it in there. That's how they get around it, so it can't be traced back. Unlike an email you can try to trace somebody's maybe IP address if they're not using a VPN. So multiple reports of Ledger users receiving a similar letter. In response to Canfield's post, Ledger said the letter is a scam and cautioned its device users to stay vigilant against, oh, what attack? Phishing attempts. What do What do we have? What lesson? Right. Protecting against phishing scams. Isn't that interesting? We already got a lesson about it. Ledger will never call, DM, which is direct message, or ask for your 24-word recovery phrase. If someone does, it's a scam that goes for any project, especially those of you in the MoveQuest community, because you keep getting got with this. Please don't engage with accounts claiming to be Ledger employees or anyone offering to help recover funds. Unclear whether connected to the Ledger's data leak. So the Ledger data leak. Canfield suggested that scammers were sending letters to Ledger customers whose data was leaked nearly 5 years ago. In July 2020, a hacker breached Ledger's database and dumped the personal information of more than 270,000 of its customers online, which included names, phone numbers, and home addresses. The following years, several Ledger users claimed to have been mailed fake Ledger devices. Oh, wow, I didn't even think of that one. If you guys received something in the mail and you didn't order it, throw it out. Don't open it. Don't plug it in. Don't think, oh, I got something for free. No. This also is another tip, and I need to use for myself because I made this mistake. I didn't get got by this, but I made this mistake. When you are again at any of the blockchain and Bitcoin conventions, one thing that I love to do is walk around in all the booths. And a lot of times they give out free merchandise and stuff. And the last one, the Miami event, there were a lot of different wallet providers and they were giving out free wallets. And I took a bunch of them. I didn't use any of them, but I took a bunch of them. I'm not doing that anymore. It will, in other words, I might take it, but I'm not going to use it for anything of storage on my main stuff because it can be compromised. I want to order directly from the manufacturer and it comes to me completely sealed. Best case, double sealed. So I had to mental note that I'm getting myself prepared for the Bitcoin 2025 event and what we're going to see there. So the following year, several Ledger users claimed to have been mailed fake Ledger devices that were tampered with and designed to install malware upon use. Bleeping Computer reported at the time. All right. Then we've got here $800 million in Bitcoin rotting in trash. Is this the one from the UK? Now it's headed to your TV screen. A jaw-dropping 800 million Bitcoin treasure buried in a landfill, I think this is the UK one, is being transformed into a global media project, blending real-time drama, tech innovation, and environmental warfare. The buried Bitcoin docuseries unleashes the craziest landfill treasure. Yeah, I predicted this was going to happen. I said they should make a documentary out of this. Captain, what external hard drives do you use, Brandon? Where do you get them from? I need more. Okay, so first, I am just now going to start using cold storage devices. Now, we have a lesson here. These this cold storage for crypto security. Cold storage. So cover this in this lesson. I cover some of the devices. Also in hardware versus software security. I cover some of the wallets there. And anywhere on here, security ones. Yeah, just those two. And if I go back to Bitcoin 101 and Crypto Advanced, but you don't even need that. Let's say you're in MoveQuest and you've got multiple devices. So here is my I call this my red iPhone. Now I've got multiple different ones here. I got a red one. I have a green one. See that? I have a blue one. These devices do not have a phone number on them. they're not connected to any network. They only connect when I connect them to my Wi-Fi. So I can add any wallets I want to it and use those iPhones as a cold storage device because it's not connected to any network and it's not going to cost me any extra money. So any device that is not connected, and it will be called, if you connect it, that's called a hot wallet if it's connected and online. But if you can disconnect it, that's a cold storage wallet. So I would begin starting there first. But outside of that, Ledger and Trezor. Ledger and Trezor. And when I go to the Bitcoin 2025 event, I'm going to see if there's some new exciting ones out there. I like the ones, I have another one. I got to find it somewhere that has a big screen. Like my Z Fold. I like big screens because I got bad eyes and I have bigger fingers. All right. So $800 million, they're going to make a docu-series on this. No, I don't back up. No, I don't have my cloud on nothing on my phones. I don't believe nor trust in the cloud. Los Angeles-based entertainment media company La Boule announced on April 29th that, and it's not just iPhone. I've got sitting here too. I've got Android devices too. So as long as it's not, and neither of these two devices are connected to a phone line. Only when I connect it to the Wi-Fi and I disconnect them. That's another thing. Never connect to any public Wi-Fi. Right? That's another part of our security. Okay, let's see here. Los Angeles-based entertainment company La Boule announced that they have acquired the exclusive rights to develop a multimedia adaptation of James Howell's ongoing attempt to recover 8,000 Bitcoin lost in a Welsh, there you go, a Welsh landfill. That's right, Melanie. You've been up since 2018. I've been saying this stuff. You've had a chance to see this stuff come live that I was talking about way back then. The initiative will span multiple platforms, including a premium docu-series, a podcast, and an expansive social media campaign designed to engage a global audience. Dubbed The Buried Bitcoin, the real-life treasure hunt of James Howells, a story chronicling James' mission to recover. I don't think this will ever be recovered. I think too much time has passed, too much garbage there, but it's never going to go away. It's like Pirates of the Caribbean. Because 5 years from now, this $800 million might be worth $3 billion. So you're going to have more treasure hunters out there. They're going to go over every single inch of that landfill. The series will blend cinematic storytelling with real-time global stakes, blockchain technology, and environmental innovation. I will watch it. I'll watch the series. All right. Next, I don't want to go into more of that. Trump endorses senators' push for U.S. to amass Bitcoin reserves. I agree with this. Senator Cynthia Lummis declared this week she is particularly pleased with Donald Trump's endorsement of her proposed strategic Bitcoin reserve, a plan she claims will tackle the national debt and solidify U.S. dominance in financial innovation. I agree. I agree with that. America must lead on Bitcoin, says Loomis after Trump backs reserve plan. The Boosting Innovation, Technology, and Competitiveness through Optimized Investment Nationwide Act, introduced by Loomis, would direct the federal government to acquire up to 1 million Bitcoin, roughly 5. Okay, the only thing I remember this act. The only thing I disagree with it is how long they want to wait till they do this. I say you need to do it now. America can afford to get 1 million Bitcoin right now. Don't wait freaking 5 years. If BlackRock can do it in 8 months, well, they're halfway there. You think the U.S. government can't? So don't get the million first and then dollar cost average after that. That's just would be my opinion and advice. The reserves mirroring the scale of U.S. gold holdings would be funded by allocating the first $6 billion. And you can't say this, mirroring the U.S. gold holdings. Has that been audited yet? I thought Trump was going to go open up Fort Knox. What happened to that? We don't hear nothing about that. And none of the reporters are asking questions about that. Where's Elon Musk? He was talking about that too. 2025 to 2029. As Bitcoin comes into more usage, its use makes the whole system more secure, more robust, and more capable of serving our needs all over the world. I agree. She emphasized that the initiative would put everyday Americans and workers globally in control of their own money. That is true. The legislation mandates storing Bitcoin. Okay, but first, let me make this point. The US government creating this reserve does not mean the US government wants to endorse people using Bitcoin daily. No. The US government wants to control where the wealth is, just like it tried to do with gold. They want to, what they're going to do, in my opinion, when they launch the CBDCs and the stable coins, at best, they may have it backed by Bitcoin. The whole point of control is you got to control the source. You got to control the asset. And right now, America does not control the asset. So don't think that them making this move because America's down with crypto. It's not. America is down for control. So understand that. The legislation mandates storing Bitcoin in decentralized treasury-operated vaults with strict physical and cybersecurity protocols. It also requires independent proof of reserve audits. There we go, which we don't get with gold, and protects private citizens' rights to self-custody. California has already passed this bill. States, wait. No, it's already going up for vote. I don't think it's been passed yet. States could store Bitcoin in segregated accounts, and the bill outlines rules for managing blockchain forks and airdrops. Loomis argues the reserve would hedge against inflation. That is true. Strengthen the US dollar. That is true. And counter foreign digital currency competition like BRICS, which is true. The proposal builds on Trump's executive order authorizing Bitcoin reserves from seized assets. Backers call the bill a bold step to address the $34 trillion national debt. Bitcoin can eliminate this or put a huge big dent in it. And we need to take that step because let me ask you guys this question. Who is the largest purchaser or current holder of US debt? There's two countries, some people always get this wrong. It's actually not China. It's Japan. And it was forced upon Japan because we took them over basically after World War II, and that they're still paying for all of that. But China's right there with them. And Japan made a move against Donald Trump that wasn't forecasted. When Trump put tariffs on the entire world, Japan made a chess move, said, okay, we're going to start selling the US bonds. And then China followed suit. And America's like, wait, well, what? And Japan said, well, Trump said, this is where he gets in trouble. He said Canada and Japan were two of the countries that had the worst trade deals ever, that's ripping America off. And he forgot that he's the one that made the trade deal the first time he was president with Canada and Japan. And Japan reminded him of that, and he dropped the 90-day tariffs. Pause on it. So this can counter that. So if I was a Trump advisor and I'm looking at if I'm gonna make these moves on the tariffs on the world, I need to be able to forecast how are they going to respond. If you don't do that, it's like Sun Tzu, the art of war. If I make a move, how are they going to move to my action? And so then I need to be able to make another action to counter that. And one of the big ways to do that, I'm not doing QA today, Judy. Can't do that. So another way I can do it. Well, you know what? I did not allow you to speak last time. Yeah, put your hand back up. I'll give you a chance because I shut you down on Thursday. Was it Thursday? Yeah. So give me a second here to finish my thought. So the best way to counter that, what Japan and China, the others are going to do, create this Bitcoin strategic reserve and do it now so that when the rest of the world decides, okay, all right, US, you want to play that game? We're not going to buy you a debt anymore, and we're going to start selling it to devalue the dollar. And then, the United States can say, okay, we're going to put the dollar backed by Bitcoin, not trust. Ooh, that's the ultimate chess move. I'm particularly pleased with President Trump's support of my strategic Bitcoin reserve initiative, which will address our national debt while securing America's position as a global leader in financial innovation. All right, real quick, go ahead, Judy.
Hey, Brandon. Thank you for taking my question. There's something I can't quite wrap my mind around. So I'm hoping that you might wrap your mind around it, massage it out, and then come back with your thoughts on this. But I mean, if Trump is mandating the use of uh, stable coins for all US government payments in 4 months, I'm thinking 4 months is not enough time. There's an entire generation of people who can barely turn on a computer, let alone open a crypto wallet. So I'm thinking, is this going to be simply a stable coin that will be used for um, as as gas in the background between government departments, or is it just going to be one fakakta chaotic mess? And I'm thinking it can't be a chaotic mess, but then I'm thinking, well, look who is mandating it. It could very well be. But do you think that that coin that's going to be used would be like a fee coin in the background? Because I cannot see
Well,
the entire US population being ready in 4 months.
it's not the US population, it's just federal. So what's going to happen is it will be a little chaos in the beginning. And that's why, because he hasn't announced what digital token are we using, what stablecoin are we using. So that's why you see PayPal, Coinbase, BlackRock, Trump himself and his own company. All of these new stablecoins are popping up because, and even Ripple, they all want to be in position. So there's a lot of information we don't know yet. So we just have to follow what's happening. But a mandate doesn't mean that it's been law. He just signed an executive order. Now Congress can decide to postpone it or how do you fund this program to get it in place? He's got to go to Congress to make that happen. But he can have the mandate there. That doesn't mean that everything will be live and ready to go. He's just saying, you guys got this amount of time to make it happen, to get it ready. Vladimir Putin did the same thing, but he did this in 2016, where he mandated that the Russian banks must be ready to create their own CBDC, but he didn't put a timeline on it. And they've been working on that for the last couple of years. And now that BRICS has taken the forefront, things have changed a little bit. So we'll see. Even though he put the mandate, will it actually be alive and ready to roll out at that time? I don't think so, but this will be interesting to watch happen. All right, but I got to move
So
on.
it would,
Yeah, go
okay.
ahead.
I was going to say, so it would be sort of like a coin in the background, kind of like JP Morgan's Onyx,
Yeah,
where it's not necessarily for the public, but it's in the background for the bankers behind the scenes
what I'm thinking of what they're more going to do is they're going to send out all
or
federal
between
workers as
agencies.
well a debit card. And they practiced this during COVID. So how did they pay the COVID checks? Some people got a direct deposit. Other people got a debit card from the government, and the money was just on that card. The state of California did that. And I even received one. I'm like, what is this? I don't even qualify for this. But because of how I do my taxes were my earned income. They don't call it earned income, they call it capital gains. So they say my earned income put me in the level of I qualified to get a California debit card, and if they wanted to add any money onto it, it would go onto that card. But this is also how they're going to do it when they bring the CBDC. So this could be a trial run also. It's just too much we don't know yet. He left it
Okay.
very open and vague. But all right, but I got
Okay.
to move on.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, next one up. Dr. Doom, now bullish on US economy. Predicts a 4% growth despite Trump's tariffs. Well, that's good news. Economist Norio Rubini presents an optimistic outlook. Now, that's completely opposite of somebody like Robert Kiyosaki, who is saying the complete is, we're going to a depression. So he's forecasting a 4% annual rise by 2030. He believes that while trade restrictions could slow growth by 50 base points, technological advancements could boost potential growth by 200 basis points. Okay, so he's having the same methodology as how wealthy people think. You know what one of my mentors told me back in the day? He said, you want to know how to always stay ahead of inflation, how to always never feel the pain of the economy? Make more money than inflation is growing. So if inflation is 2% or 3%, every year you should be making 5 to 6% more. So your lifestyle, everything is increasing. So what he's saying is, if these restrictions is going to slow us down by 50 points, the technological advancements, we're going to be gaining by 200 points. So now we're positive 150. That's what he's saying here. Norio Rubini, long known for his warnings ahead of financial crisis, now offers a bullish perspective on U.S. economic growth. Despite concerns over President Donald Trump's tariff policies, he says that we should reach a 4% annual growth rate by 2030. I don't know about that, though. I question that. And the reason I don't question how he's looking at the numbers, well, yes, I am. Because there's still one force here that we can't predict: President Donald Trump. He is man-made. He can do something, say something, and cause something that throws this completely off. According to Rubini, also known as Dr. Doom, financial markets, including the U.S. bond market, helped to thwart the worst effects of the administration's trade policies. What does he mean by that? Well, as soon as the Trump administration saw the bond market was being threatened, Trump backed off. Market traders trumped the tariffs, and bond vigilantes proved more powerful even than the U.S. president. That part was true short term. Trump's retreat from broad-based tariffs after market backlash. Yeah, but what's going to happen in 90 days? When should that 90 days be up? Because I think we're now 60 days left, right? June, sometime in the end of June should be the 90 days. After steadfastly defending his reciprocal tariffs, despite mounting criticism from economists, industry leaders, and political allies, Trump eventually announced a temporary pause in the policy. This decision came as U.S. bond yields ticked higher, signaling growing unease among investors and financial markets. Yeah, that's true. The marginal increase in the yield on U.S. bonds was widely interpreted as a response to heightened trade tensions, with investors pricing in potential economic slowdowns and inflationary pressures resulting from the tariffs. Rising U.S. yields could lead to capital outflows from emerging markets and put pressure on global currencies under normal circumstances. But when you have nations like Canada and China that's taking this personally, Canada's got elbows up. China's like, we are not begging at all. We're not caving to Trump. They would rather feel the pain than make a deal with Trump. That you got to take that into account. According to Rubini, financial markets again prevailed after Trump floated the idea of firing Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell over his refusal to lower. What does he mean that it prevailed? Financial markets prevailed because it sent the markets into a tailspin. People were scared. Trump was the first to blink, at least for now. Oh, okay, I see what he's saying. Rubini observed, emphasizing Powell's firm stance on central bank independence. While trade restrictions and protectionist policies could slow economic growth by as much as 50 basis points, Rubini argues that technological advancements will boost U.S. growth by 200. If growth goes from 2 to 4% because of technology, that is a 200 basis point boost to potential growth. Yet, even draconian trade protections and migration restrictions will reduce potential growth by only 50 basis points. I don't know where he's getting his numbers from on this. And this is Dr. Doom. Is he really being this positive? The AI boom, okay, Rubini posits has accelerated investments even in the face of policy uncertainty. Since the launch of ChatGPT in late 2022, AI-related investments have driven a U.S. capital expenditures boom. That is true. Meanwhile, Rubini, a senior advisor at Hudson Bay Capital Management, also took aim at Europe, really, which he said faces headwinds of demographic aging, energy dependence, and an over-reliance on Chinese markets. He predicts a further widening of the innovation gap between the US and Europe. That's why I said France is going to be the first to join BRICS. Because if you're saying that Europe is completely energy dependent and they're relying on China, the more the US tries to isolate China and its allies at the same time, the faster we're going to be pushing them to want to do business with China. And China, if I was China, I would try to make trade deals with Europe and exclude United States and say, hey, we're just making a deal with you. All right, forget what America's doing. The 50-year innovation gap between America and Europe will only widen. There's a 50-year innovation gap. I want to verify that. 50-year innovation gap between America and Europe will only widen as AI-driven growth moves from logarithmic to exponential. I don't know about that. Concerning the impact of tariffs on U.S. inflation, Rubini projects that inflation will surge past 4% this year. The growth in the inflation rate will ultimately stall economic growth. So if he's correct, if you guys want to not feel inflation, whatever you made last year, this year you need to make at least 5% more. So are you in a position to make 5% more money this year than you did last year? This is how, business people think. What are your projections, short-term and long-term goals? Do you have projections to make at least 10% more, 30% more, 50% more? And what are you going to do different to achieve those numbers? Okay. Despite trade tensions, inflation, and political volatility, Rubini remains confident in the U.S. economy's ability to thrive. Partially true, but again, we have Donald Trump up there. We don't know what's going to happen. All right, but the U.S. is very, very resilient. Okay, two more than I got to run. Going to go see Thunderbolts today. 1.82 trillion stablecoin boom. This is huge. I think we covered this earlier this week about the stablecoin market hitting like $10 trillion. To speedrun banking history. Andreessen Horowitz, A16Z crypto reports stablecoin volume soaring to 1.82 trillion. By when? When does he think that's going to happen? Oh, wait. It already has. Set. Stablecoin boom set. Yeah. So if you add it up, the top one is Tether at 149 billion. Has it reached trillion now? Then you got USDC at 61 billion. I don't think so. It hasn't reached that yet. Maybe halfway there. I would say it's probably around 400 billion market cap for all the stable coins. So what's he talking about here? Transaction volumes. Oh, transaction volumes themselves, not the market cap, reached 1.82 trillion in March of this year, a record high. The figure underscores what A16 views as stablecoins' increasing role in everyday financial activity, especially in areas like international payments and global payroll. Even as broader cryptocurrency markets remain volatile, the editorial emphasized that this volume is largely driven by organic, non-speculative usage. Because remember, you don't make money off of stablecoins. That's the whole point, is just to be stable. However, you still got to pay fees on every transaction. So who owns the stable coins? Somebody's getting rich. All right. So let's see. Non-speculative usage pointing to growing adoption from major companies like SpaceX and Scale AI that now use stable coins in operational finance. I wonder which stablecoin SpaceX is using. Stablecoins could be a WhatsApp moment for money, making international transactions nearly free and instant. Let's see. We expect stablecoins to speed run banking history. Just as with stablecoins, American money started with simple banknotes before regulatory changes enabled banks to expand the money supply through increasingly sophisticated lending. Yeah, I got to come up with that stablecoin course very quickly. You see this here? With over 90% of the stablecoin supply now tied to fiat-backed token, and with decentralized alternatives gaining traction, A16 anticipates continued growth in volume and business as businesses and developers integrate stablecoins into global payment rails. Although skeptics cite compliance and risk concerns, the magnitude of real-world usage signals stablecoins may already be crossing into mainstream infrastructure. He's right. He's right on that. And then last up, and yeah, I did see that article, Leonard, as well about the ATMs inside of federal institutions. I just didn't have time. Marnita had already pulled that one up. So Kevin O'Leary, institutions won't touch Ethereum. This is interesting to me. I'm actually going to say, because there's two articles on this. This one and then this one here. Ethereum's era of crypto dominance is over. I need time to go through this because I am looking long term that I'm going to make far more money off of my Ethereum holdings than I am my Bitcoin holdings. This throws that into question. In a recent interview, Shark Tank personality Kevin O'Leary, known as Mr. Wonderful, remarked that when substantial capital flows into the crypto sector, it inevitably gravitates toward the flagship digital asset Bitcoin. That is true. But what's he talking about? Ethereum's hurting, but I want to do that on Monday. And then this one. It's now an open race for leadership among layer one blockchain networks. The era of crypto dominance is over. Ethereum's era. Ethereum's relative dominance among layer one blockchain networks has declined, resulting in an open race to become the leading Web3 platform. So then, if that's the case, I want to know who does this guy think is the competition for Ethereum? So we're going to base this, we're going to keep this for Monday. So if you are not in the inner circle, you might want to be in the inner circle so that you can not miss this on Monday. Because I want to take my time on this. This is big news if they are true. All right, that, ladies and gentlemen, is a sample of what our Inner Circle Crypto Talks are all about in being a part of our community. With that, get back to the person who invited you. They will show you how to join our ILCA community. If you don't know, nobody invited you, you just stumbled upon us, then you can send myself or Miss Casa a direct message, and we will get you pointed in the right direction. Monday night, we are going to be doing the day 5 of the 5-day challenge. We're going to be talking about wallet security. We're also going to be giving updates on the Vegas Bitcoin 2025 and what's going down in Chicago. I want to give a special shout out to Miss Melanie Davis, Sandy Lynn, Joyce, and Marnita for working hard behind the scenes to make sure everything is put together. And next week, I want to start really going to be running my mouth, getting prepared for that event and promoting for it. I'm really excited. I can't wait to get back on the road and seeing you guys and doing things. So with that, I will see you guys Monday in Inner Circle Crypto Talk, and have a great weekend. I will be off the rest of today and tomorrow. So I'll be back on Monday morning, and we will be doing a MoveQuest presentation right after the Inner Circle Crypto Talk on Monday. All right, take care, everybody. Brandon Ivey out. Bye-bye.